Marty Gallagher here, CLS show. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Here with the B1 Bomber. Didn't have to drive too far here for the USA Nationals. Lake Elmo, Minnesota home track. Traveled all over the United States with the World of Outlaws. Been on this series for a few years now. What does it feel like being back home?
It's always good to be, relatively close to home. Cuts down on the travel, and there's always pros and cons. I mean, it's nice being around a track you're familiar with and know, and yet at the same time, man, you really get hit up with fans and people and friends and people we haven't seen for a while. And I'm a little more introverted, so I gotta get in the holler and take my minute every once in a while. But it's good to be back home. I like racing here. That's where I grew up, and I feel like I know the track as well as anybody. And so, yeah, it's good.
So a night like tonight, do you go back home and sleep in your own bed?
No, we're so used to staying in the hauler, and our schedules are so they're so tight. I mean, the amount of work we have to try to do in a day and race that night, it's just we don't have enough time to spend an hour going back home and coming back. So we just stay in the rig, and it's just like any other weekend that way for us, pretty much.
I've been able to watch you on Dirt Vision. Seems like the year's going pretty good. Looks like you kind of got a little new decal seam coming up here for the USA Nationals this week.
Yeah, we got a new body on here and a couple new sponsors. Some guys that are around home look forward to being here, and so this time we had kind of beat the heck out of our other car a little bit, and so it's time to get this one back out and get it cleaned up, and so I think it came out pretty good.
And you're not the only one in the family that's racing these days. You got the little one guy. He spends a lot of nights here on Saturday.
Yep. My son Matthew's been racing Super Stocks, Midwest Mods some, and he's growing and learning and doing well, excelling. And my dad still makes it out a handful of times a year and has some fun. So it's good. It's good to have all three of us going.
Thanks again, Brent. Appreciate it. Brent Larson, the B1 Bomber, Lake Elmo, Minnesota, USA Nationals here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Marty Gallagher here, coming to you from Cedar Lake Speedway here with Mr. Excitement, New London, Wisconsin's.
Pretty dull and boring lately.
Terry Casey. Great to have you back at the racetrack. It's been a handful of years since you've ran competitively around the Midwest area back in the day. You ran the Wissota Late Model Challenge Series.
Way back in the day.
Way all over the place. And then, of course, Eastern Wisconsin's home, running this tracks over that way. And you're back and behind a race car. How's it feeling?
I like it. I really do. I don't miss the work part of it, but this was just a promise to myself that I'm having fun with, and that's basically all it was.
And it's been a couple of years, like we were mentioning earlier, and you said some health stuff has also gotten the idea of like, hey, let's go do this.
Well, I got laid on a table and said they're going to take my heart out, fix it, and stick it back in, and kind of made a promise to myself that the one thing I loved in life to do was race cars and dirt late models. So after that, I put together this one and just kind of having fun with it.
And it sounds like it's basically a lot of your own making, a lot of your own doing, this whole chassis and setup wise.
Quite a bit. I mean, it's a Domination, which is a more of a copy of the old Rayburn cars, and I just always liked the swing arm stuff, and I kind of wanted to prove to myself that they weren't done yet. But I don't know. I really don't care. I guess I shouldn't say I don't care how we do, but it is what it is. And I haven't gone to the racetrack yet with the same deal in it yet, so I'm learning. I mean, it's the things that I hear of and have learned over the years since I've got out. It's like, damn, why didn't we have that back in my day, And so I guess that's kind of what it is I just kind of throw stuff at it, and it's been fun. It's been different. I mean, if I could work the bugs out of this a little bit, maybe just go back to basic is probably what I should be doing. But
looking, obviously, running with the World of Outlaws this weekend, but you've ran with the World of Outlaws. You've traveled the country with that series before in the past. Yeah. What is some of those greatest moments or memories that you had?
I got a lot of good moments. I mean, there was a lot of them brought up this morning with people I see here, and I miss the camaraderie of the people that we used to run with, and now you got these young kids that I don't know. I don't think some of them really understand the work ethic part of it. I see them sitting around and riding on their own in their four-wheelers. Yeah, they're damn good drivers, but most of them don't know shit about race cars, and they don't know how to work on them either. But some of them, I'm not saying all, but I'm going to take shit for that, I'm sure. But it's true. There's a lot of sugar daddies out there, and we don't have that anymore. So.
No, like back in the day, you guys were all over the country, and you're grinding on it, grinding on tires, grinding on getting this set up for the next night and traveling down the road. Again, thanks for joining us, the CLS show, here with Terry Casey, driver from Eastern Wisconsin. Ran with the Outlaws back in the day, ran all over the Wissota Challenge Series. Guy's been all over the country, and he's here at Cedar Lake Speedway here for the USA Nationals. What's your thought of Cedar Lake Speedway? You haven't probably been here in a little while.
Cedar Lake has always been one of my favorite racetracks. I've always said that. It's always been my favorite. I used to, I always believed you're only as good as your competition, and I always came over here on Saturday night and went to Superior on Friday night because I always believed the best of the best are over here, in this area. And shit, I used to pass 3 racetracks just to come here every night. So.
Thanks again, Terry. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining the CLS show. Good luck for the rest of the weekend here. Terry Casey, CLS. Marty Gallagher coming to you from Cedar Lake Speedway, the CLS show. Cedar Lake Speedway, Nick Anvelick, Navarino, picked up the win, $5,000 last Saturday night. You've been here numerous times, and you drive across the state, and you're here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight. It's gonna be a pretty tough weekend, I'm sure. I don't know. We learned a little bit last weekend, but I'm sure the track won't be the same 2 nights in a row here this weekend. It usually isn't, so we'll see how it goes.
Season-wise has gone pretty well. Obviously, you picked up the win last Saturday night. 3-wide battle at the end. That was one of the best races Cedar Lake's seen all year. How's the rest of the season been so far?
Pretty good so far. I mean, I haven't fared all that well with we ran a World Outlaw race earlier that got rained out, and now we Lucas Oil and Deer Creek, and we missed that show, so like I said, we'll see how it goes, but our local stuff and Dirt Kings things have been going pretty good. We won earlier here at Cedar Lake for $5,000 and one of the 4,500 at 141. So it's been a good year for us so far.
Obviously, you make a travel across the states, and you guys have been doing this for a while. I see your dad down there. It's kind of been a family deal for you guys forever coming to the USA Nationals.
Yeah, I can't even remember how long. I think probably since the first or second year that I raced late model, we've been coming here. Our first show that I ever ran here was my rookie year for the Wissota 100, and I just loved it. So we've been back as many times as we can get here.
Now, thanks for spending time with us. Nick Anvelick here, Navarino, picked up $5,000 last Saturday night, and he's going to go try to chase some money this week. Thanks again.
Thank you.
James Giassi here, Marty Gallagher, the CLS show. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Coming to you from Cedar Lake Speedway, first night of USA Nationals. You're running the open motor tonight, so that should be a fun night for you, or the rest of the nights, obviously.
Yeah, we'll see. We thought about running both cars, but it's just for a small team like us, it's hard to have all the help there and just have all the resources to go and do it all. And I figured if we were going to try to run both, we'd end up with 2 half-assed programs. So we're just going to focus on the big one here and see if we can't do something to make that big show on Saturday.
And obviously, we know your local late model is good. Hell of a race last week on Saturday night.
Yeah, thanks. That was actually this car. I went through it a few weeks ago and just kind of started over because I didn't have a very good 4th of July weekend. And Bill Schleeper Pro Power got us a new power plant for it, so we put it in. And last Saturday being the first race with like a new setup, a new engine and everything, it all kind of, it wasn't all that bad. So we kind of got something to build off of from that. We'll see if we can start off strong here tonight.
Here in 2023, I've been able to watch you online, watch you in person. There's been some great moments, some not so great moments, but you've been all over the place this summer.
Yeah, we're trying. It's just tough racing around here, as far as like what a lot of the tracks pay and stuff. I mean, we have the equipment to go and do some of the other stuff when we're able. So, if you can go run with the best, you end up learning quite a bit more than you do racing with the same 10, 12 guys at your local track. So, I like to do more of it. It's just kind of, I still got a 9 to 5, so got to make sure everything's happy there. But, it's pretty easy for us to come over here this weekend, right down the road from home, and race with the best. And like I said, see if we can make something happen and up in that 100 lapper on Saturday.
That's what I was going to ask. Obviously, growing up around here, you've been to the USA Nationals since you were a kid. You've raced from traditional sprints, worked your way up the ladder to running these big outlaw late models tonight. It's got to be cool. You look back, it's like, wow, here I am.
Yeah, no, it is cool. Me and my buddy Chase Feebrock, we sat up in that booth right up there on the front stretch and used to watch this very event. When they go and shuttle the lights down, and you roll out there, and everybody gets introduced, and they stand on the throttle for a quarter of a lap, and then you go off racing for 100 laps. It's always badass, and if I can just I just want to make the show this weekend for sure. That's first and foremost. Obviously, before we get there, you got to make the show, and to be in that deal would be pretty cool. And if we can maybe go forward a little bit in Saturday's feature, that'd be all right also.
Awesome. Thank you, James, for your time. Make sure you guys cheer on the number 11 this weekend. Running with the World of Outlaw Late Models, James Natural Giassi.